What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt. And I am very proud to announce this podcast is now being presented by DraftKings and the DraftKings Pick 6. Welcome a new title sponsor to the Daily Juice. More on them here in just 1 second. But after last night, we'll recap it in a moment. A reminder of what's going to happen this morning at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern time for 30 minutes. We will go through all the line move. We'll go through all the newest information. We'll go through weather and all of the things we need to watch for today in college football. I've given you 3 picks already during the week. I'll give you 3 more here today. We got a 6-bet slate for us here on a Saturday, all college football. We'll take a break from everything else. Baseball, WNBA, everything else. We'll take a break for it here in just 1 second. I'll get you a bit on the recap as to what happened last night. But 8 o'clock, Discord channel. How to get there. bettingpros.com/chat. Look for the Daily Juice channel in the Discord and basically Matt's chat. You'll see that underneath. We'll go live for 30 minutes beginning at 11 o'clock Eastern time this morning as we'll roll through week 2 of college football. Hope to see you all there to be a part of it. Hopefully more people are willing to talk. The idea is to have a conversation with me. Like, don't be afraid. Everyone who was chatting last week, come on and talk. Don't be afraid. Come up on stage, ask, answer, project, talk about what you think is going to happen for this coming Saturday. Some big games to get to. But before we get to the picks and to the plays, let's welcome in DraftKings. DraftKings Pick 6. New title sponsor for the Daily Juice. Think the quarterback will throw more than 300 yards? How about your favorite receiver scoring a touchdown? Check out Pick 6. It's the newest way to play fantasy football and win cash with DraftKings. Here's how it works. You're going to pick 2 to 6 players of the same sport and choose that they'll have more or less of a certain stat, such as yards, catches, touchdowns, and more. You lock them in. You compete against opponents for a shot at huge cash payouts. You're going to download the brand new DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use the code JUICE. That's the code JUICE for new Pick 6 customers and play $5 to get $50 in Pick 6 credits guaranteed. Plus, you're going to get 1 month of NFL Plus with Red Zone and NFL Network only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97-777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility requirements vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 is not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. 1 per new customer. Reward issues as $50 in non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 6 months. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at NFL.com/terms. One additional thing to all of that. On Friday, we'll get the podcast parlay back, except it's going to be a DraftKings Pick 6 play every Friday for the NFL season for Sunday and Monday. Okay? So we're going to do that with the NFL every Friday. So it won't be a parlay. They don't bet parlays, but it's a Pick 6. There's a bit of a different spin on this. It will not count for the record, okay? Just FYI. I can't play this in Vegas, so I'm going to give it to you, but you guys can play it. I can't play it because DraftKings is not legal in Vegas, so I can't play it here in Nevada, but most of you guys can in other states. In most states in America, you guys will be able to play this with the DraftKings Pick 6, so go download the application next Friday. We'll do it for the NFL for week 2, do it every Friday, recap it every Monday here on the Daily Juice. Speaking of recapping, let's get to what happened last night. Again, in the last minute, we blow the cover. It was the Chiefs and a toe in game number 1. This time it's a field goal with just seconds to go to let the Eagles cover the 2-point line. Both teasers cashed, however. So if you bet the teaser on Thursday, you bet the teaser on Friday, both cashed. We went under with the Ravens up to +9. We went over with the Packers up to +8. They lost by 5. So we covered both bets there. So I wound up a unit here after all of this. Jalen Hurts did go over his passing. Jalen Hurts got to 33 yards rushing, just short of the 36.5 that we needed. Bummer there. Devontae Smith did not score, but Christian Watson had under 37.5 yards receiving, and the Lynx came back to beat the Fever by double digits on the road. They were down by 5 at the break, won the game by 10. Big second half for Minnesota. I still think Minnesota is better than Indiana. Still not sure Indiana's that good from a playoff perspective. 1 unit won there. 3-3 day, basically flat, unless you went ahead and took what we talked about earlier with the teaser, the same game teaser. So same game teasers are 2-0. Betting on dogs straight up, or betting on dogs just for straight bets, 0-2 to start the NFL season. So you know what I'm doing Sunday. Get ready to tease some games coming up on Sunday. Wong teasers are back and all the other fun stuff. And by the way, people were asking about that. You're like, Matt, where are your prop bets going to go? Thursday, Sunday, prop bets will be on the live streams. Okay, that's where they're going to be. I don't do college football props, so there's no worries with that. We're not doing that. Don't worry about that. But that's where Thursday pregame, Sunday pregame, those 2 shows will have the prop bets available. On Monday night, the prop bets will be on the podcast on the Daily Juice here, FYI. And then in the NBA season, the NBA will be those props for the NBA. Those will be on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get into there. But that's where we're going to wind up putting the prop for the NBA because we have to bet game of, day of. But not the NFL. We have time to bet those. So just FYI on that. So when you see the recap and it's got bets on it, you're like, where'd that bet come from? Came from the live stream. Okay. So it's documented. You can go back and look at it, but that's where it comes from. That's where those official plays are made. All right. So I've already told you about Nebraska, Colorado over 59. That number has plunged to 55. Still like the over. You guys got a much better number, over 55. Iowa State's down to 35 or 35.5. That game is going to be a little bit of a crapshoot there. We'll see what happens there. Michigan State +10. We bought that up at -124. Okay, so let's talk about Iowa and Nebraska. I don't normally do parlays, but it's a +141 parlay that I'm going to do for 1 unit with Nebraska money line and Iowa money line. You may not need that. You may get to lay both numbers. Okay, you can lay Iowa -2.5 or Nebraska -7 if you want, but I have a bad feeling that one of those 2 teams will not cover. It could be Nebraska. Nebraska, last time they played Colorado, was up 17-0 at the break, and they lost the game last year. They blew it in the second half. I mean, it was just an absolute disaster. It was one of those games where you're like, what the hell happened? How did that go down? So this is a revenge spot for Nebraska in a lot of ways, but this is a bad blood spot, okay? They have Dylan Raiola. They've got their defense. It looks really good early. Yes, it's Sanders. Yes, it's going to be high scoring in my opinion, but I think it's going to be like a 40-20 win. Like, that's why it goes over. So I think Nebraska covers, but if Colorado wins the game, I think the game goes over, and I think we have a chance we'll get the over there on that. We'll lose this 1 unit parlay bet, but I think the over comes in. So we'll see how the game plays out. A lot of people are betting the under. I bet the over, but I think Nebraska wins the game. For Iowa State, look, this is the Cy-Hawk, so it is a coin flip type of football game, but I think Kinnick Stadium has been such a big advantage for the Hawkeyes, having Kirk Ferentz come back, having this offense that looked better in the second half than the first half, and having this defense, which I think is going to force Iowa State into some uncomfortable situations. The reports that we got on my other show from somebody on the ground in Iowa yesterday was that Iowa State was going to throw the football a lot today. If Iowa State's throwing the football a lot today, I don't love that from an under perspective, but I like that a lot from an Iowa win perspective, that I think that plays into the hands of the Iowa Hawkeyes and that opportunistic defense that Iowa has. So I'm not sure I like that game plan for Iowa State. I think I'd rather see them run the football, but Iowa and Nebraska money line together. I think they both win 1 unit for +141 to win 1.4 units. Forget the point spreads. Let's just get W's here for Iowa and Nebraska here for moneyline parlays. Fifth bet of the day. Let's talk about Tulane and Kansas State. Okay, here's the thing. This is going to be a dogfight. Tulane's one of those teams that you don't know a ton about, but they're pretty darn good. All right. They put up a big number against a cupcake last week. So everyone's like, how good are they? But this Tulane team, I think, is going to give Kansas State some fits. And I think this Tulane team is going to be in the game all the way to the end. I think we have an opportunity to watch a barn burner of a game. I'm not sure how good K-State is. I got to be honest. Everyone in the preseason was like, K-State's a sleeper team to win the Big 12. Look what they're going to be able to accomplish. I don't know. I mean, they destroyed a complete cupcake in week 1. I still don't think we know a whole lot about Kansas State. I think this is going to be, a big test for some of the younger players for Kansas State. And look, they're ranked. Got that little number against you. That comes with pressure. And I don't think Tulane cares. I think Tulane's got an opportunity here to come in and put some big-time scare. They're at home. I got a home dog at +9. I got Kansas State on the road in a non-conference road game where they're a big favorite. Give me Tulane. I'm taking Tulane +9 for 1.1 units there. And lastly, we're going to talk about Oregon and their game against Boise. Boise got lit up by Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern. I know Dylan Gabriel busted his hand in the first game, and everyone's like, Dylan Gabriel's hurt. No. They didn't show anything, and they didn't score a lot. Oregon recruits against Boise State. I think Oregon's going to absolutely hammer Boise State. This is one of those consensus plays in the sports betting community that scares me a ton, but I agree with it. I was hanging out with Julian Edlow, who works for DraftKings, at Circa, which is kind of funny, but we're hanging out and we're talking, and it's me, Dave Sherapan, my co-host on BVB, and Julian Edlow, and we're all talking about this game, and we're all like, can Boise slow down Oregon? We're like, no way. Like, what's the team total? Because can Boise score? That's the worry, right? What if Boise doesn't score? Bet the over. What if Boise doesn't score? So that's the worry. It's a 20-point line. So it's concerning because if Boise gets crushed and scores like 17 points, this game's going to go under. So I think the easier play is just to take it out of their hands and make it all about the Oregon offense and Dylan Gabriel, who is a Heisman Trophy candidate, who did not have a Heisman Trophy candidate day in his first game so far. And so I think this is when Oregon explodes. This is when they put up a big number. This is when they see a defense that they can really exploit. Georgia Southern exploited it a lot. Now, Boise won, but there was nearly 100 points were scored in that game for Boise and Georgia Southern. Team total, Oregon, over 40.5 for 1.1 units. All right, big card for us here on a Saturday. Nebraska, Colorado, over 59. You can get a much better number than what I played. If you haven't bet that yet, you get 55.5. That's tremendous. Iowa, Iowa State, under. That number is 35.5 or 35. I still don't mind it, but I want 36. Iowa, Nebraska, money line. I think both Iowa and Nebraska home teams get W's here today at +141 for 1 unit. Michigan State at Maryland. We told you about that earlier in the week. We bought that from 9.5 up to 10. That number now is down to 8.5. The move came on Michigan State at -124 for 1.24 units. Tulane +9 at home against Kansas State here today. I think Tulane may have a shot to win the game outright. In Oregon, team total over 40.5 at -110. Yes, it's a popular play. Yes, everyone's on it. Yes, I think it's still a good play because I believe in Dylan Gabriel's ability to put up big numbers. It should be a really fun Saturday. I will talk to you guys on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to jump on in. 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock in the morning in the Daily Juice. Look for Matt live chat conversation. It's an audio chat that I'll do with you guys live for 30 minutes coming up later on this morning. My name is Matt Peralt. This is the Daily Juice Podcast. You guys can follow me on socials at Sports Talk Matt. Every single morning, the Daily Juice presented by DraftKings.